All right, what's up, guys? Scotty here at the Coyotepe Medicine Music School. Zorro Escondido, Hiding Fox, also my spiritual name. And today we're going to go over rapidly some of the most essential chords that you're going to use. We call these open chords. So these are the chords that you play without a bar. So like this is a G that I'm going to explain in more detail. There's another way to play a G, which is a bar chord, which is this. But this bar chord we're going to teach later in the course because it's really hard for beginners to get this sounding good, and it's a lot easier to do the same chord with a different position where you don't have to do that bar chord. So this is what I'm going to start off with. It's called the G. It's called sol in Spanish, so sun. So this is the G chord. So you use your pinky finger on the 3rd fret on the 6th string, and this is a modification where I usually use this. You use your 4th finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, and then you use your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, and then you use your pointer finger, your 1st finger, on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. So if you can see that, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you press those down with the minimum amount of pressure you can, and there's the G. Now if you have one where it's not super pressed down, or a couple, it might sound a little muddy. So if it's sounding muddy for you, make sure that your fingers are as close to just above, not directly on top, but just above the fret, and that all the strings are kind of pressed down. So that's the G. Now this is the C. So the C is also a chord you're going to use a lot. All right, so it starts off with 5th string. So right, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 6 strings on the guitar. You start counting on the 6th string from the string that's like lowest. This is the highest. And the 1st string is the lowest. So 1st and 6th. So on the 5th string, right here, I use my index finger on the 1st fret, and then I put on the 4th string my middle finger on the 2nd fret, and then I put my 3rd finger, right here, the ring finger, on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. Okay, so that's the C. So we have G, and now we have C. Okay, now once you learn each one of these chords, what you're going to want to do is figure out a way to smoothly transition between them. So we'll go over that in a different video, but what I'm going to try not to do is completely take all my hand off the guitar and then move into the next chord. What I'm going to try to do is figure out how I can most smoothly and with a minimum amount of time and effort change chords. So that's the C chord and the G chord that we just learned. Okay, now we're going to go over D. So one important thing that I forgot to mention is with G, sol, we use all the chords in the guitar. With C, we use the 5th string down. We don't use this one. When you're strumming, don't mind if you hit it, it's fine. But if we're being kind of purist about it, then we do 5th string down. There's an explanation for that I honestly forgot, so just take my word for it. There are some chords that you don't play you might not play the 6th string, or sometimes you might not play the 5th string. And so that's the case with D, or I think re in Spanish. So D is played with the 4 last strings only. So number 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay? And so the first thing that I do is I take my middle finger and I put it on the 6th string, 2nd fret. I put my pointer finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and down here I put my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Okay, so it's like boop, boop, boop. That's like kind of the point. It's like makes a little triangle. And there's the D. Okay, now another chord that you're going to use more or less frequently is the A. And so this is the A. Now you're going to use, the first thing you do is put your index finger on the 4th string, the 2nd fret, your middle finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and your ring finger on the 2nd string, 2nd fret. So all of the chords, or all the notes played for this, are on the 2nd fret with your first 3 fingers. And that's a way to do it. There are other ways to do it, but find the way that works for you. So that's an A. Okay. Now, one of the most common, maybe the most common chord is an A minor or La minor, which is what our instructors will refer to it as. So that's this one. It's my favorite chord, bar none. I love it. I've used it all the time, and most medicine songs use it also. So how you play this one is your index finger, second string, first fret, your middle finger, fourth string, second fret, your ring finger, third string, second fret. Okay, so it like makes a little L shape. So first finger, second fret, or first fret, second string, middle finger, fourth string, second fret, and your ring finger, second fret on the third string. And that's A minor. And then the last one that I'm going to cover today is E minor. And there you can play it with your first and second fingers. I typically play it with my third and fourth fingers, or second and third. So your middle finger and your ring finger. So middle finger goes on the second fret, fifth string. This is as difficult for me to explain it as it is for you to listen to it, I promise. And the ring finger goes on the fourth string, second fret. And there's the E minor. So in resuming, we learned the G or Sol, we learned the C, we learned the D, we learned the A minor, and we learned the E minor. And we also covered a little bit of the fact that you don't want to completely take your hands off the fretboard, completely take them off the guitar and then reposition them. That's going to be maybe unavoidable when you're learning the chords. So try to learn one chord at the same time, or at one time, and then move on to the next chord. So like A minor and E minor is a brief example. So here's A minor, and I could take all my fingers off and then put them in position in the A minor. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to move A minor, and I'm just going to move briefly, if you see that motion, from here, take my index finger off, and then just move these two over. And that's the A minor. So A minor, A minor, or E minor. So there you go. That's most of the chords you're going to use at a basic level that aren't bar chords. So practice those, let me know how it goes, and I'll see you guys in a lesson very shortly.